In Salem, the ground begins to shift the moment whispers surface that Dr. Wilhelm Rolf has quietly returned to one of his hidden labs on the outskirts of town. For most people in Salem, Rolf's name alone is enough to stir up anxiety, but this time the shock is even greater, because the secret he has been guarding involves one of the most heartbreaking chapters in recent memory, the death of Adrienne Kyriakis. Everyone believed she was gone for good, lost to tragedy, mourned, buried, and grieved. But Rolf, in his usual morally twisted brilliance, has apparently been playing with the threads of life and death again, and this time his experiment has succeeded. Adrienne is alive. When the truth begins unfolding, it does not happen with fireworks or grand entrances. It starts quietly, the faint stirrings of someone waking up in a sterile room, someone confused, disoriented, and struggling to understand why she feels like she has been asleep for years. Rolf, of course, takes full credit for the scientific miracle, explaining in his cold, clinical way how he managed to preserve just enough of Adrienne's physical viability to perform yet another one of his notorious revivals. For him, this is triumph. For Adrienne, it is terror. And for the rest of Salem, it is about to become chaos. The first person to truly feel the weight of Adrienne's return is Bonnie Lockhart, and her reaction is instant, overwhelming, and messy. Bonnie has lived in Adrienne's shadow for years, taking her place, wearing her face, borrowing her life, and at times even trying to become her. Deep down, Bonnie always feared the possibility of Adrienne returning, because Adrienne's existence alone would shatter everything Bonnie has tried to build. The moment Bonnie receives confirmation, her entire world begins to crumble. Panic takes over. She spirals, pacing, rambling, shaking, imagining every possible consequence. She knows Justin will not even hesitate. Adrienne was the love of his life. With her back from the dead, Bonnie becomes nothing more than an imposter, a placeholder, a shadow. Everything she believed she finally earned, a sense of belonging, a place in the Kyriakis circle, a chance at stability, starts slipping through her fingers. Meanwhile, Justin Kyriakis, completely unaware of the emotional storm about to hit him, moves through his week carrying the grief he has learned to live with. When he finally hears the news, it stops him cold. Even he can't immediately comprehend it. How could he, when the love of his life died in his arms? His mind battles between hope and disbelief, between the desire to run toward Adrienne and the fear that this might be another cruel twist created by the Demeros or Rolf. But as the truth solidifies, Justin starts to feel the old emotions rising: love, shock, guilt, longing, and confusion. In Salem, Adrienne's return becomes the story that spreads from one household to another, the kind of revelation that makes everyone look twice, gasp, and question everything they thought they knew. People wonder what Adrienne remembers, how much of her past is intact, whether she knows what happened with Maggie, with the accident, with Will's wrongful imprisonment, and whether she understands how profoundly her death reshaped the town. As Adrienne slowly regains her strength, her memories, and her emotional bearings, she struggles to make sense of how much changed while she was gone. The world moved on, people grieved her, and in some cases, like Bonnie, people borrowed pieces of her identity. Her return is not simply a miracle, it's a disruption, a reset, a reopening of wounds the people of Salem thought had healed. Bonnie's panic reaches its peak when she finally imagines the moment she will have to stand face to face with Adrienne. She knows that when that moment comes, she will not just confront the woman whose life she once imitated, she will confront the truth about herself. And she fears that the entire town will turn on her, blaming her for enjoying a life that never truly belonged to her. That fear consumes her, and the more she tries to hide it, the more obvious her unraveling becomes. Adrienne's resurrection opens the door to emotional reckonings, romantic upheavals, family conflicts, and long-buried grievances. Justin's heart is pulled in two directions. Sonny and Alex are stunned to their core, Maggie struggles with guilt all over again, and Victor's legacy becomes a fresh target of chaos. Adrienne's return is not simply a plot twist, it is a seismic shift that will ripple through every corner of Salem. And at the center of it all stands Bonnie Lockhart, trembling, terrified, and bracing herself for the moment everything she knows comes crashing down because the woman whose life she never expected to see again has just walked